In Maryland, 67% of high school and middle school students use 3 or more hours of social media per day. This statistic does not include time spent on homework or in school. We interviewed 10 students addicted to social media to see how this has affected their lifestyle.
I've been addicted to social media since I was 10 years old.
I've been addicted to social media for about 4 months now.
I've been addicted to social media for about 3 to 4 years because I got my first phone in quarantine.
I've been addicted to social media since like 7th grade.
I've been addicted to social media for about a year.
I would say since 7th grade.
I'd probably say around the end of 7th grade as well.
Some students talked about their addiction developing during COVID, and that being the time period when they got addicted. But how do we narrow it down to what the student is genuinely addicted to?
I think there's almost an endless amount of content that you can consume on social media. And I think that sometimes I find myself lost within it.
All my troubles, they just melt away. All the suffering and pain I have in my life, I just start scrolling and it's all gone. It just makes me happy for a little bit.
I really like the videos that people make and create about video games or just tech releases and like reviews on tech products.
I think what's most entertaining about social media is being able to see people who have like experiences that are similar to mine.
It's fun to watch, spending time on your phone, just looking at what your friends posted on your story and stuff like that.
I like seeing content to entertain me when I'm bored, and yeah, just cut it there.
It's very entertaining, and I like talking to my friends and interacting with people.
The amount of entertainment, stuff to do, things to buy, it's all fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on there. There's a lot of short form content, which I personally I don't watch that. I prefer longer videos, but still, I would say I watch a lot of entertainment.
Students talked about using social media as an escape mechanism for when they feel down or low. Because of this, the students depend on social media and use it in situations where they shouldn't be.
During the school day, I would say I spend at least 10% of my time on my phone.
I would say around 12, 13 times. I check social media a lot of times just because I feel like it makes me feel good after watching a few videos.
I think I check social media a lot during the school day. Whenever I get a notification from one of my friends, or whenever we're not doing anything in class.
I check social media during a school day a lot, more than other people, more than people should.
Every period.
Usually not too often. Mostly during PE, maybe 3 times.
Probably only around once. I just check Instagram and that's about it.
There was a lot of variation in each student's answer. Some check social media 10 times during school day, while others only check it once. Expanding on how so many students use social media in school day, it makes you wonder, how are these students paying attention in class?
I can't concentrate anymore. My attention span's ruined. I can't achieve the same grades that I used to without working much harder. I find myself daydreaming in the middle of class. I'm not paying attention to my teachers. I just want to think about when the next time I'll turn on my phone and what I might see when I turn it on.
Before I used to be the straight A kid, and I was on path to get the straight A award for all 3 years. But then I started getting E's, D's and E's, and I couldn't even get a single A after my social media addiction started.
Recently, I've seen my grades dropping. I've been failing a lot of my classes because of spending time on my phone too much. I think that's one main problem that is causing.
Less focus in class, being on my phone, it's definitely taking away from, actually learning, the learning aspect in class. So that's.
Whenever I'm supposed to be doing my work, I go on social media and it distracts me, getting me to not do my work.
it like feeds into my procrastination, and like it keeps me from doing a lot of things, and like it's just like it makes me not manage my time as well.
I'm not focused on doing my work, and I make it like I take it till the last minute.
It only really started affecting me during 7th grade when I started bringing my phone and I started using it during class. Started like ruining not ruining, but it worsened my education.
I don't really use my phone that much, but sometimes like in science, if I don't have anything to do, I just use it. So it hasn't really worsened my education, I'd say.
Students who are deeper in their addiction seem to be the ones failing classes or using social media more into the school day. But this actually affects how you behave in social settings or real-life situations as well.
I feel like I find myself rejecting a lot more invitations to go places now because I'd rather sit on my bed and scroll through TikTok.
Why do I need real life experience if I can just see it all on my phone?
I do think so. I feel like I miss out spending time with my friends, spending time with my family, and doing homework because of spending times looking at useless videos.
When I'm on my phone, I'm with my friends, you know, when we're supposed to be spending time with each other, I'm on my phone, and it kind of takes away from the experience of that.
Many students talked about actively being on social media despite hanging out with their friends or even declining invitations to go outside because they would rather scroll on social media. This shows the level of difficulty that students have when it comes to having to stop using social media.
Yeah, I do find it difficult because I feel like I'm missing out on stuff when I'm not. But like, I like seeing what people are up to and talking to my friends.
Sometimes if you try, you still fall back into the loop of, you know, unconsciously just loading an app on your phone and unconsciously scrolling. So yeah.
Yeah, one time I deleted social media for a week. I started scrolling on YouTube Shorts.
It seems that some students have more of an emotional attachment to social media, where they feel left out if they aren't using it. At this point, social media has begun to take over the students' whole social life. So how does this affect their friends and family?
My friends say I don't go outside enough anymore. And my parents keep yelling at me.
With my friends, when I'm hanging out with them, I just pull out my phone, go to YouTube Shorts, and they get angry at me. They start yelling at me. They're like, hey, you came to spend time with me. What happened to that?
I mean, I've definitely gotten lectured by my mom a few times when I use social media a lot and when it affects my schoolwork and my performance.
It's clear that the addict's friends and family show a lot of concern by maybe yelling at them or telling them they aren't normal. It's one thing to have everybody worried about your mental health, but what harm does social media do to it?
I think comparing myself to all these people who really aren't real or show their real side of them makes me feel a lot lesser or of little value compared to what I really am.
After my social media usage, I'm kind of tired, but I can't stop.
I think social media, it puts a lot of different images in your head that, and especially in teenage years, your brain is still growing, and I think social media, instead of helping it grow, it like slows down the growth and puts wrong stuff in your head, and when you should be studying, you're putting in useless information. So I feel like that's something that really, social media really affects that part of your mental health.
Well, I think like this goes for like most teenagers. I think social media kind of sets like a lot of high standards and sort of unrealistic standards that like definitely like when you compare yourself to that, like it's kind of like takes an effect on your mental health.
Overusing it can be stressful.
Yeah, it gets like stressful and then it gets into your head a lot, using social media a lot, so yeah.
It's interesting to see how, even though so many of the students were able to list ways that their life has worsened because of their addiction, it still seemed that there was no point for them to stop. We decided to interview one of their teachers to see how these behaviors show up in class.
A lot of times they're falling asleep in class because when they go home, they're up until 1, 2 a.m. because they're on social media. So then when are they making up that sleep? They're making up that sleep during school. and falling asleep. And then the cycle continues just over and over and over. So yeah, students are always falling asleep. You gotta take the phone or limit the phone use, or even block the social media sites on the phone. Parents have a lot of control. They just don't want to do it because they themselves a lot of times are addicted to social media.
Ms. Wasser had really helpful advice for parents who are concerned about their child's social media use. It's extremely helpful for parents to hear from those who work with students firsthand, which is why we decided to reach out to the president of the Maryland Association of School Nurses for a little insight on how we can help our students' addictions.
Where are your kids in their room on their phone? And I hear that from other parents that I spend time with, is that kids they're not outside playing, they're on their phone. And so that's a baseline piece, I think.
It is because of students who come out and seek help from others that we are able to raise awareness to the situation. If you think that you or anyone you know is addicted to social media, let it be known that they are not alone.